Top of the morning, people. We here. Last song off the project. This one's for you, Dad. Track number 12. Good morning, good night. Like I told you, this is the last song off the project. I want to give a special shout out to everybody who supported this project in advance. But without further ado, because this is going to be a lengthy one, I want to cut right to the chase. Good morning, good night is the most important song on the project, on the album, just because of what it represents. Good morning, good night. It was like the fourth or fifth song that I did off the project, and as soon as I did that song, I knew I wanted this song to be the outro because of what it represented. It was a toss up before I recorded this song. Legendary was going to be the last song. You know what I mean? And but when I did this, it was like, man, what it represents, what it entails, how it sounds, it needed to be last. Just because, just like I told you guys on the intro, when you start out an intro to an album, you know, first impression is everything. You know what I mean? And an outro is just as important because you want to give the people enough to fulfill the actual project, and at the same time you want people to be able to want to come back for more. You want them to listen to that song and at the end of the song be like, man, you know what I mean, like we need more of this. You know what I'm saying? So that was my attempt at this record, and judging by the reception that it got from the people, it's a lot of people's favorite song. But good morning, good night, it represents the good morning part of the title. The good morning part of the song is me introducing myself to the world as far as the artist. I know you guys have known me since at least 2018, like I said, with Scale. You know what I mean? And that is something that, me and my brother, me and my homie, Larry Legend, built from the ground up, and that we are continuing to build from the ground up. Well, not so much from the ground anymore, but you get the gist of it. So, and like I told you before, it always bothered me that I wasn't known for music. It always bothered me. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do that. So the good morning part is me introducing myself to the world as far as an artist. And like I told you guys before, this is something that I strategically worked on. That's the reason for the freestyles and everything of that sort. And the good night part of the record represents uh, a chapter of my rapper life that I'm not putting down. I'm not laying to rest, but I'm gonna ease up off of it, and that's the part of my music career that I had spent this whole album talking about. This is the part of the who I dedicated this album to, and that's my father. Like I said, one thing about me, I'm very self-aware, and I pay attention to what people like, dislike, may like, but get tired of. And like I'm very aware of that. I'm very self-aware. I'm very self-conscious. You know what I mean? So like what, and I'm my own worst critic. So when I look at my project, when I look at my whole just uh presence of being a rapper, I look and I see, I try to critique myself in the worst way possible. So one thing I came up with is like, now we at this point where, okay, Thunderbird, we get it. You miss your dad, you love your dad, he was the best father in the world, but you gonna need to give us something else. You gonna need to give us something else. We need more. We just need something else from you. We get it. It's mad dope. You put out the first video on his birthday. You dedicated your first album to him. All of that. You know what I mean? But now you need to give us something else, because that's not gonna cut it. You know what I mean? And I'm aware of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but just with this project, I wanted to make sure that I ended it off properly, and I wanted to give my father the proper respect that he deserves. and me dedicating basically a whole an entire year of my music career to him. He really deserves more than that, but like I told you guys, I know what you guys want. You know what I mean? But like I said, the reason what prompted this project and the reason why I talk about my father so crazy, my father passed away in 2001, but man, I swear to God, I tell you guys, man, every year, every year since he's passed away, I've learned to appreciate him more. And ever since I became an adult, I understand him more. The things the decisions he made, no, you can't go here. And I couldn't understand for the life of me why. I get it now. No, you're doing this. Dad, why I gotta do this and that to the. I couldn't understand it at the time he was making the decision, but I understand now. You know what I mean? And it's like every year that he's been gone, every year that I get older as an adult, as a parent, as a man, I learned to appreciate my father even more. And that was the reason that I named this project This One's For You, Dad, because all the experiences that I talk about that I talk about in this project on this album is due to him. It is due to him, you know. So it's just like, man, like I love it. You know what I mean? I love the fact that I can learn lessons from him and that, you know, he can still be a presence in my life even though he's not here. And like I said, it was just like I told you, it just be times like where you swore to God you thought you was right when in real time, but you later found out that wow, like I was so wrong. And like an example of that, it was one time, man, in 1998, Hard Knock Life tour. I was I was 12 going on 13. Hard Knock Life tour. That's Jay-Z. That's DMX. That's Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak, Method Man, Redman. The whole just everybody who was hot 98 was basically on that tour. And it came to Buffalo. Now it had came to Buffalo, and the arena that is known now as Key Bank Arena, it was known as Marine Midland Arena when it first opened up. It first opened up in like 97. And so this is 98, Hard Knock Life Tour, you know. So I'm 12 going on 13. So, you know, all my friends from my neighborhood is going. And, you know, like to give a big shout out to my brother Scrap and my brother Sheldon, man. These are two guys that's been with me from Yay High. And you know, those were the guys that grew up on my street or whatever. So it was like a month away from the concert, and they was telling me, they like, yo, man, ask your parents, can you go? Ask your parents, can you go, man? Like, what you got to lose? And this is the first time I heard the saying, the worst thing they could say is no. That's the worst thing they could say. Ask your parents. But when you ask your parents, ask your dad. He's going to say yeah. Now you ask your mom, she might say no, strictly because I was young. I was 12, going on 13. I want to go to a concert, a rap concert with my friends, no parents. It was like it had all the ingredients up for hell no. So I put it off for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask. So fast forward the day before the concert. We all know how it is. Once that actual event comes up that we supposed to go to, that's when we really want to go. You know what I mean? So I had finally worked up enough nerve. Granted, it was the day before the concert to ask, can I go to this concert? So my dad comes home. I wait for him to separate from my mom. And I ask him, Dad, it's this concert downtown that I want to go to. Could I go? Now, I know my father like the back of my hand. So anytime my father doesn't give me a direct no, it's a chance. Anytime my father does this, It's going to be a yes. Now, it's going to be followed up by some questions, but it's going to be a yes. So when I asked him, just as faith would have it, he hit me with the, oh shit, he gonna say yeah. So I'm asking him, you know, so I asked him, so when he did that, I was like, he was like, all right, when is the concert? I'm like, it's tomorrow. He like, damn. He like, all right, who going? Who all going? All I had to do was name my homies, Scrap, Sheldon. He trusted them with my life. So I'm like, it's a lot of us going, but Jermaine, that's his government name. Sorry, bro. Jermaine and Sheldon going. He like, all right. Well, when y'all going to get y'all tickets? By this time, I am elated. I am elated. So I'm like, oh, I just gotta go get my tickets because they got their tickets already. And he like, wait a minute, y'all not going to get y'all tickets together? I'm like, no, they already got their tickets. I just gotta go get mine. He like, oh no, you can't go then. My heart dropped to the floor. I'm like, Dad, what? He like, because man, you not gonna be sitting with your friends. He like, you not gonna be sitting with your friends. What happens if you sitting next to somebody, they smoking weed, a fight break out? Man, you ain't gonna know how to handle yourself. He like, man, nah, you can't go. And at this time, I'm like, Dad, what are you talking about? They gonna be smoking weed. Like, cops is gonna be there. Dad, what you talking about? They gonna be fighting. They can't fight in there. So he's listening to me say that. And he hit me with this face that I got right now. He like, nah, you can't go. And what had me even more pissed, that he had said, now, if you would have asked me when they was going to get their tickets, you would have went. I would have let you go. But nah, you can't go. That was the one time I wanted to run away. And as I told you guys before, I'm a student of hip hop. I'm a fan of hip hop. That was the one time I wanted to run away. But even in wanting to run away, I just wanted to go to the arena, stand in front of the arena, and hope to God that I heard some type of music so I could just say that I witnessed. You know what I'm saying? I just, in my weird way, I just wanted to go hear some music down there. So that was the one time I seriously considered running away, but I didn't end up running away, and so I didn't end up going. So I was pissed, man. I was mad. So that was in '98. As I told you guys, my father died in 2001. So I fast forward to '05. Best of Both Worlds concert, Jay-Z, R. Kelly, which end up turning into Jay-Z and Friends tour. But for anybody who went to that concert back in the day, Buffalo was like the second or third stop on that tour. So it was still the Jay-Z and R. Kelly Best of Both Worlds tour. So I was going, shout out to my brother Meech. I was going with him and his significant other. And this was the first concert I was ever going to. So, you know, uh, he had called me and he was like, yo, I'm going to get my tickets today. When you going to get yours? Like when you want to go get your tickets? Because I was thinking about going to get mine today. So I just told him, I'm like, all right, go get your ticket and I'll go get mine on Friday. This was on Tuesday when the tickets came out on sale. He was like, nah, bro, like we got to get our tickets together. I'm like, what you mean? Only thing I gotta do, you get your tickets, you tell me where you sitting, and I could just say, yo, I want to sit next to this seat right here. He was like, yo, that's not how it worked. That sounded familiar. Because again, rewind back to '98 real quick. I thought I was 12. I was going on 13. So I thought a concert was like an assembly. Like at school, you walk in the auditorium, you look to see where your friend's sitting. Okay, I want to go sit over there. I thought it was just that simple. So fast forward back to '05, my man Meech like, no, it don't work like that. So I'm like, damn, that sounds familiar. My father said that. So I'm like, all right, forget it, man. Come get me today. We go get it. So we go get the tickets. Now we go to the concert. Now we sitting on the floor. So after they scan our ticket and they pat us down, we don't go up the escalator. We go straight through the big double doors, go on the floor. And as soon as I walked in, I seen Guru. Like I told you guys, I'm young Guru, Jay-Z's engineer. I seen him and I was just like mesmerized. I was like, damn, that's Guru. That's Guru. And as I'm looking at him, I get a big whiff of weed. And I stopped in my tracks. And I just looked up in the sky. And then I put my head down. Because I looked up in the sky to say, like, damn, Dad, all these years I didn't think you knew what you was talking about. But you're right. And then I suddenly realized he wasn't here for me to tell him he was right. That fucked me up. That fucked me up. In the concert. It was the beginning of the concert. That it fucked me up. So, that was just an example of like how in real time I thought my dad, like, man, the Will Smith song, parents just don't understand. Like, yeah, I don't, man, what are you talking about? But in the long haul, me telling this story, I know y'all looking like, man, you sound dumb as hell. When did cops being somewhere gonna stop somebody from doing something illegal they not supposed to do or whatever? But I was 12 going on 13, middle class family, same mother and father living in the same house. I never been nowhere. I never really experienced nothing. You know what I mean? So it was just like, man, that was a time where it was like, damn, Dad, I wish you was here for me to tell you was right. You know what I mean? And so it was just examples like that in life that, like, damn, the older I get, the more I appreciate. And now that at 37, I got an 11-year-old daughter, I would never even consider letting my daughter go to a damn concert without an adult. Like, that's not even, I'm not even open to that idea. So for him to be open to that, that was, that shows how much he trusted me. And, speaking of trust, the last story I got to tell you, and this is what built me as a man. It's one time in 7th grade, I had brought home a 62 average. Easily, by far, the worst average I ever brought home. 62 average. And that was because, that was the first year I attended my neighborhood school with all my friends from my neighborhood. From kindergarten to 6th grade, I went to school 39 Martin Luther King in the Fruit Belt, but I'm from downtown Buffalo. So 7th grade was the first year I went to school 6, my neighborhood school. So I was just having fun with my friends and never doing no work. So that first marking period, I brought home a 62 average. And I remember I used to, like, for years, ever since I was like in 3rd grade, I used to always ask for a portable basketball hoop. And I used to ask for it every Christmas, and I never got it. You know what I mean? I never got it. So when I brought home the 62 average, I knew I was going to get in trouble. I knew it. And my parents is the type of parents that I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide the report card from them. So, like they knew about the progress reports, the report card. They knew when all of it came out. So I had to show my parents. So I showed my mom first because that's the first person I see because she get off work first. And she cussing me out. She motherfucker this, motherfucker that. And I remember my father used to get off work at 5 o'clock. So my mother used to go get them and they'll get back home about 5:30. So I always would time them getting home. So about like 4:45, when it's time for her to leave, I shut my door and act like I was asleep. So she opened the door before she went to go get my father. She seen I was asleep. I really wasn't, but she seen I was asleep. So she closed the door back. So, 5:30 comes, 5:30 goes, they not home. 6 o'clock comes, 6 o'clock goes. They not home. So I'm like, by this time, I'm like, maybe they went to the casino or something. Maybe they made an extra stop or whatever. So I called myself going to the bathroom. Soon as I get comfortable in the bathroom, I hear keys jingling at the doors. I'm like, damn, this is my parents. So soon as they open the door, my mother, James, bring your ass downstairs. James. So now my brother, last time he seen me, I was in the room sleep. So he like, Mom, he sleep. So she said, wake his ass up. So he go in my room. I'm not in my room. So then he come out the room. He see the bathroom door closed. He like, oh, he in the bathroom. She like, bring your ass out. So I come out the bathroom. Her and my father sitting there, standing there rather. She says, show your father your report card. I said, all right. I go show him my report card. I hand it to him. He grabs it. Yeah, everybody know how the report card used to be folded. So he unfolded, he looking. He looked at every grade. He looked at me, gave me back my report card, didn't say a word to me, walked in the room. For the rest of the day, he didn't say a word to me. That next day, he didn't say a word to me. Well, the next morning. So the next day, I'm walking home from school. I see my garage door open. And my father is putting together a basketball hoop, a portable basketball hoop. And when he was done, he rolled it out, put it up to 10 feet, whatever, passed me the basketball, and he walked in the house. Didn't say a word to me. Right there, I knew I had to do better. Without him intimidating me, without him putting a hand on me, without him saying a word to me, I knew I had to do better. And the fact that he trusted me to do better, that said a lot about the trust that my father had in me to be able to do better without even him having to say nothing to me. And those two stories I just gave you drive me in life, man. And now that I'm older, I'm like, man, how can a parent even resonate with his child that way? You know, because the first thing when your kid do wrong, your kid bring home a bad grade, the first thing you're going to do is yell, at least be firm. That's like, that's just natural. But the fact that he didn't even have to say a word to me and I got his message, let me know, like, damn, Dad, like, you had a way of parenting that I don't even know how to do to this day. So, yeah, those are the two stories, man, that, prompted this project. And I wanted to end the project off right, you know what I mean, with a song that represented the whole project and my life in the same breath. And I believe I did that very well with Good Morning, Good Night. Like I said, it's just Good Morning represents me introducing myself to the world as an artist, and Good Night is putting this chapter of my rap career on, like, down for a second. I'm still gonna make references because, again, just like I promised my pops, he's gonna always live on through me. But I know what y'all want to hear. Y'all want to hear me talk that shit. Y'all want to hear, y'all want to hear that other side, that braggish, bodacious side. Y'all want to hear that. Y'all want to hear some shit y'all could get lit to. And that's what this next project gonna be about. And yes, I'm currently working on it right now. And it is about 40% done. And it is the best work I have recorded to this day. So, yeah, so before I went on further with that, I wanted to make sure that I represented my father right. So I dedicated my first year of reintroducing myself to the world as an artist to my father. Dad, I love you. You the reason why I am who I am today. And, for the people who supported me, I'm sorry I, drug this out so long and, talked about him for a while. But that's just how much my father means to me, man. And He's going to continue to mean to me, whether I talk about him on a microphone or not, whether I talk about him on a song or not. He's the reason I am who I am. So Andrew Lee Funderburk Sr., I miss you. I love you. And I hope I made you proud with this project. Because Dad, you made me proud every day to be your son. Every day. And I miss you like crazy. So thank you guys, man. Thank y'all for your support. I want to thank my brother Stacks, who produced damn near every song on this project. I want to thank everybody who played a part. My brother Larry Legend, my brother Floss. You guys are the reason. You guys helped build my confidence. Y'all the reason why I am who I am today as well, man. You know what I mean? And just know my brotherhood that I have with y'all means more to me than anything. You know what I mean? I want to give a special shout out to my unborn daughter, Quest, who will be here in about 2 weeks. I want to give a very special shout out to my beautiful daughter, Canary. You, me all over again, baby. And hopefully, like my father, I will leave an impact on you the same way he left an impact on me. Appreciate you guys for your support, and I will be seeing you guys very, very soon. I have 2 projects coming out. One on New Year's Eve. I have to get permission before I can name the first project. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to get not permission, but consent, and the second album be here this upcoming summer, y'all. Appreciate y'all for y'all support. Appreciate y'all for y'all patience. And I want to thank y'all as well, because without y'all, I wouldn't have the confidence I walk around with here today. Appreciate it. Signing off. Funderburk. This one's for you, Dad. Hope I made you proud.